everybody, and welcome back to another Creative Chat with Janae Charlene, where we creatively discuss topics with people in my network who are just doing amazing things to raise the vibration in their communities and inspire the world. So today with me, I have seasoned investors and real estate professionals, Derrick Moore and Tyshawn Davis, who are also my business partners. So did you guys come out and share a little bit about yourselves? Thank you for coming.
For having us. My name is Tyshawn. I'm a real estate professional and investor. I'm also an educator here in New York. I coach and mentor, and I always look to partner with others and see how I can uplift them and add value.
Of course, and that's what we're all about here.
Mhm.
Tell a little bit about yourself, Derrick, and what you're doing to uplift others and add value.
My name is Derrick Moore. As you can see, I'm also in the military, but I've been doing real estate for over 6 years. I pretty much run the gambit as far as real estate is fix, flip, buy, hold, property management, property acquisition. So anything involving real estate is pretty much is a one-stop shop with me. So I pretty much I got started with buying my own first, being a homeowner, and from there I just fell in love with the idea of owning real estate. So I wanted to sit there out of my own curiosity, expand and create and focus on generational wealth. So and we're based out of Virginia. That's pretty much where my entire real estate portfolio comes from, and always looking to grow and develop more business relationships to sit here and to take myself and the entire team further. So I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for your service also. How long have you been serving?
I've been in the military over 19 years, so I'm coming up on
Wow.
retirement. Yeah,
Wow,
it's
congratulations and thank you for sure. So you guys, you know what? Like we're talking about wealth and closing the wealth gap and educating others and inspiring people, and it's Black History Month. So what better way to kick off with dropping knowledge about how others can leave a legacy, essentially is what I'm saying. So you just shared a little bit about how you got started with just becoming a homeowner. That can be scary for a lot of people, just maybe if they've never seen it done, or they'll be the first ones, because obviously purchasing a home is the biggest purchase of most people's lives who, make that step. So Tyshawn, you want to share about how you got started?
Like most people, when getting into real estate, you try to look for what's the lowest barrier entry. So I started my real estate journey getting in with wholesaling. So as I was looking to become a wholesaler, trying to figure out what market I was going to jump into, sort of being a little bit all over the place. I randomly reconnected with my partner, Derrick, and he just sent me a message on Facebook and said, let's support each other. And this was literally a year ago in January. We reconnected after us graduating high school together almost 20 years ago. Was heavily vested in the Hampton Roads, Virginia area. So Derrick became my mentor, showed me how to identify an area and really get very specific with it to understand the ins and outs of it. And from there, 1 year later, we now own 2 properties together as real estate investors, and we're currently seeking our third. So getting involved in my real estate investing journey was finding a mentor to help me focus my efforts, and then to get stronger in my expertise of a specific area. And then we just hit the ground running. And that's how I got started.
Wow, that's an amazing story. And what sticks out the most to me is the key factor of mentors, right? So, success leaves clues. It's very important to find someone who's already doing what you want to be doing and really just immerse yourself in what they know. And most people in that situation are willing to share, just like Derrick was with you. So to anybody who is seeking a mentor because they want to get started in real estate, what kind of advice would either of you give to them about how they can attract that sort of a quality individual into their vibration?
I would say that what you have to look for is you have to sit there and basically, it's almost like interviewing for a job. I would almost describe it. I remember when me and Tyshawn, started touching bases again. It was one of those things where I just asked him, about his goals, what he was looking to accomplish, what did he wanted to do as far as like where he wanted to be in the future, what he wanted to do for his family, and those sorts of things. And you do that, and the reason why you want to do those type of things is because you want to see where you two, as a mentor can align together, and see if making sure that it's a puzzle. It's like two puzzle pieces that go together. Because if you cannot mentor someone and you cannot help them if you don't understand what it is that they're looking for. So I think that was really one of the biggest things. And then I was able to, understand and see his value and what skill sets that he brought. So therefore I was able to identify, okay, I see all these things that he's strong in, and I actually see things that, me myself, he might have mastered versus and vice versa. So it's like, okay, well, now we can sit here and figure out how to help each other, and we can make this work, and we can do something that'll sit here and be beneficial to both of us.
Amen.
So
I love that.
it was just a real good thing. But that's where, for me, when I started talking to him, that's exactly the place that I was coming from. So I was like, okay, yeah, this here makes sense. I mean, because you really can't partner up with just anybody. We all know that. We've all met people that says, I want to do this or I want to do that. And then when you look at what, moves or actions or decisions that things that I had to make sure that, everything that, that we had a vision for was lining up, and it was great. So that's the advice that I would give looking for a mentor.
That's great advice. And you touched on both sides of it about, the advice of being a mentor and the advice of looking for a mentor. Yeah, like you said, it's like two puzzle pieces that really do need to fit together. And when they do fit together properly, the mentor is going to learn from the mentee as well. Yeah, so that's awesome, Tyshawn. Did you know you're mentoring him also? Did you just find that out?
Well, I'll say that it was a mutual partnership from the beginning, because we actually ventured into another business endeavor together. We both own a franchise together. So
Awesome.
I had already been a franchise owner, so I was able to, in a sense, impart some of my knowledge of being a franchise owner and help Derrick to actually purchase his first franchise. So,
You guys are
now
a match made in heaven.
yeah, so
Okay.
who would have knew 20 years together, walked across that stage, getting that high school diploma, that we,
Wow.
come together later in life and be able to set an example for others as well as help others to, come up. So again, I think that it's always been a two-way street. I definitely, thank Derrick for what he has helped me to do on the real estate side. And I think that I've been able to add some value to him on the, franchising side as well.
Well, you heard it from him directly. You definitely have. He's learned a lot from you, he said. Wow. So you guys do a lot of investing, whether it's a franchise, whether it's real estate, whether it's in yourself or personal development, which is also important. As we know, being an entrepreneur, you have to be developing yourself and keeping your mind always progressive, right? So that we can stay creative and open for these opportunities. So how would you actually explain your investor ID? Like me, buy and hold, it's simple, but you guys have your hands in a few different pots. So how would you explain your investor ID?
I think if I had to super simplify it, I'll go with the
Yeah.
statement that you had.
Okay.
Being that we are, from the beginning, I think that we both had a focus on, generational wealth, what are the things that we're going to do now that's going to leave a legacy. And as we both have children, they can potentially, take over and, keep things going. One of the investment strategies that Derrick employs that he, imparted on me was, what are you selling for? Right? To buy things, because we know that real estate goes up over time. It's it may not be a, perfect straight line increasing. However, over time, real estate rises in value, rents go up. So we've implemented a buy and hold strategy on the real estate side. And I'd say if I had to extend that to a full investor ID, I would say even with the franchises, buy and hold. I'm not looking to, raise revenues to be able to sell it to someone else. No, I'm looking to take my franchise, grow my franchise, keep it profitable into the future, and keep the party going.
That just warmed my heart in so many ways, Tyshawn, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm in the DC marketplace, as you both probably know. And with that, there is a trend where people like that look like us get the bag here and then move to Maryland. And I understand, right? Because you can get more yard, the numbers are different. Like, I get it. But from a community standpoint, to be able to stay and serve, I was going to say save, but it's the same thing, save the community, serve the community, impart what you know here, instead of, moving so far away and having the intention to do that and then being like, oh, that traffic, or, it just doesn't happen as often as their heart might think it would. And so, with that, I have the very same intention of staying here. Like, there's nothing that can move me away from this city, because I need to be a part of the progression of the growth and changing the narrative here. And I'm committed fully to doing that, no matter what it looks like, no matter what it takes, So I appreciate you saying, like, I'm growing, I'm staying here so that I can keep growing and staying here, not so that I can make it harder for anyone, but so I can leave the legacy and contribute. Because a lot of people, and I don't want to like name celebrities, but we can just think of the scenarios that I'm going to say as examples, but they will own networks, right? And they will sell the network. Wow, what a feat to be our color and get a network, and then you sell it, or to start your own franchise and then to be able to have them all across the world and then sell it. You know what I mean? Or like whatever else, and then sell it. And that's the trend, and sell it and sell it. So, I'm like you, I plan to hold on, hold on and grow, hold on and teach, and just continue to be that example as best as I can. So I appreciate you so much for sharing that. It made my heart so full. I had to share back.
Definitely. See, that's the synergy.
I wanted to also tap in with the grandfather clause. So, we all have kids, right? And you're like, we're leaving a legacy for our kids. Are you going to do the grandfather thing? Because I'm still trying to decide. I think I'm going to do a little something there, but how they say, when doing this generationally, you should skip your child, go to the grandchild with the grandfather clause. So what are you doing? What are you thinking about that?
Well, in terms of, I follow Eric Thomas and his motivational speaking and, spiritual work. And one of the things he talks about right now, he's focusing on, planning for his grandkids. And, once he's tucked enough away for his grandkids, then he's ready to start planning for his great grand. So therefore, if he sets up that model, then his children have to understand that they have to plan for a generation or two down the line. And if we can set those foundations and frameworks in our family, I feel extremely blessed. I have 3 boys, and for all of them, I named my business 3D Seeds after my 3D was placed.
Oh, wow. Love it.
Make sure that I'm planting 3 seeds of a foundation that I'm trying to build for them, that they can build on into their future. So, making sure that they know about investing and how to partner with others and how to, hold on to things, because assets grow in value.
That's right. Wow. So it sounds like you're doing the same thing. So we're unanimously putting our kids to work in the business, but the grandkids are set up already.
The grandkids are set. Grandkids are set.
They should
So,
be fruitful, right?
the only way it doesn't work out is the kids don't have kids, but we want it to extend.
Yeah, the Bible says be fruitful and multiply. So I'm pretty sure, that'll work out. The Bible also says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his family. So, already by the Bible standards, we are good people, because we've already set that up for, the second generation coming. Wow, that's awesome. I can't wait just to see how this translates, God willing, when our kids step into their greatness and into the legacy and leading. Have they taken an
Um,
interest yet at all in what you're doing?
Well, my oldest just finished college. He got his degree in art. So, he's looking to set his path into illustration in the art world, but, still exposed him to real estate investing, making sure that he understands he has to have a strong credit profile and making sure that those foundational steps are there for him as he is stepping out into the world. Me and Derrick recently had a discussion where we were talking about even with our kids and making sure that we keep the right viewpoint that even though your child goes out and they're in college, right? They still could be on your health insurance. So you're still there shepherding and giving them that mentorship through those first years in their 20. If you go and rent a car, they're charging you extra until you're over the age of 25. So
Yeah.
therefore having that support from your parents and being able to, help them qualify for like their first apartment and different things like that. It's them understanding that you're still there to support them, as they grow out and grow. And
Is
if they
this giving a support that you had, or is this you being the first to create that in your family?
I definitely always had family support. I'll go as far as to say that as I've grown in my knowledge and understanding of investing and how to create generational wealth, I'll go as far as to say there may have been a generational lack of knowledge and understanding of how to set up generational wealth. So making sure that even like, as I learn within my immediate family unit, that I'm extending it out to extended family, up the family tree, down the family tree, across the family tree, because, we want to make sure that we plant as many seeds as possible because we need a field of trees.
That's right. Wow, that's amazing. It's just making me think of my own story. When I was asking about your children having interest or involvement, yet my parents were interesting. I was going to call them weird, but now that I'm older, it was interesting. My dad paid me $300 when I was about 12 or 13 to read Rich Dad Poor Dad and write a report on why I believed he asked me to read it. And he would give me newspapers and ask me to find motivated sellers. Different things like that was my childhood. Little did I know I was actually lead generating, and he was going back and actually calling them, and getting the properties and things like that. So, I'm excited. My daughter's 6, so I'm excited to start doing certain things like that with her. But what I found is in those early years, what they see us doing, because a child's belief system is created between 0 and 7. So in those early years, what they see us doing is reinforcing that this is something they can do too. So when I was in undergrad and studying to be a doctor, I was always like, I can fall back on real estate, or like, I was like I was doing what they taught me while in school though, and so it's just amazing the influence that we can have on our kids, that they can make generation of wealth a lifestyle, legacy a lifestyle, versus like the very active efforts we've had to make to create that for them. So for you, what's that been like?
Oh, it's been interesting because I was just telling Tyshawn today that I actually took my daughter, she's 15 going on 16, and I took her down to open her first bank account. And we went down to Bank of America, and the banker turned into this whole big type of extraordinary experience. And then I added her to one of my authorized users on one of my Bank of America credit cards, and everything, and just teaching her that finances is, you got to have structure, and and this is just one step of building that system and that financial system that you need in order to sit here and grow the wealth. So we just had this long conversation, and it just was good. We bonded, then after we were done, I took her to get Chick-fil-A. We sat down. Yeah, we talked, and I just was explaining to her that we have to understand that in our family we have to teach we have to teach each other financial education. And, you know, that is something that every member of a family has to understand, because we all know that, you know, money is a tool, is a financial tool that you use as part of being able to live your life, as well as being having physical ability, mental ability, you know, your spiritual ability, you know, you have your financial ability. So, you know, I just gave it just, you know, a general breakdown. I didn't want to overload or you know, give it too much, you know, but, you know, start, you know, working on it. So it was like step one. So it was really good to see and then I was excited because she's been watching everything I've been doing over the last few years too. So she knows, oh yeah, my dad, he does real estate. She knows. So now she's starting to see like how you do it, you know, having a, you know, I'm telling her, hey, you know, don't just sign these agreements and this is your account number. Read the paperwork that the bank is giving you. Don't just sign your name. And it was kind of really like you could see the innocence in the child, because she didn't even know how to sign her name on the on the account. So she tried to dribble her first name out, and then she put M, you know, and just put a dot. She didn't, she didn't even know how to do it. So it was a really good story. It just made me realize that I'm responsible for that, and I'm responsible for giving that education to, you know, my family. And that's where, you know, we're going to continue to sit here and see how we can pass things on from, you know, everything that we're building and growing and leave it to our family, you know. So even just going down to the bank, which is, you know, everybody needs a bank account. There's people opens accounts every day. Even I learned something, you know, and I learned, like, you know, if you don't even have a beneficiary on your account, you know, then if you pass, that stuff goes to state probate, you know, depending on how much money is in the account. So, you know, I realized I don't even have a beneficiary on my own personal account. So, you know, it's one of those things that it was just a real good, you know, again, trying to be a mentor and still learning something again, you know. And that's how you know that it's a full, well-rounded experience. And you know, that's the things that we got to understand, because we all out here trying to work hard, trying to you know, progress financially. And then when we pass, we don't think about what we're leaving behind. You know, we get so caught up in just the hustle and working so hard for what it is that we want to accomplish, that we don't realize that, you know, we got to make sure that the people come behind us don't have to go through. It could be easier for them, you know. So that's the big thing, you know, when we talk about family. That's the way I look at it. So yeah, that was good.
You know, some people, you know, don't leave anything to their children, right?
Right.
And the grandfather clause, they'll leave it to the grandchildren. Some people just give it all away to charity, things like that.
It's just it's crazy. I think even for me going into real estate, I didn't even realize that, you know, it's the number one industry that creates the most amount of millionaires. No matter if you could look at the tech sector, you could look at the finance sector, you know, a stock market sector. Real estate creates the most amount of millionaires. So, you know, it's one of those things that, and it's an opportunity that's available for everybody. But like I think you touched on it earlier, it seemed like that people tend to somewhat be intimidated by it. It's not for me. And I was too going into it. I was too, but I knew that owning a home is something that I wanted. And it's funny but I think I was intimidated by it because being in New York with Tyshawn, I mean, you're used to just living in an apartment. So you're like, okay, well, you know, this is what I understand. You know, I understand, you know, leasing and having a space of my own, but knowing that it's not mine. And so the concept of real estate is something totally foreign. So, but now, you know, you know, like you said, you make that big decision, you make that big choice, like, you know what, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to, you know, make this decision that's going to affect me, my family, my household. And, you know, I'm going to sit here and own a piece of property. Then you from that, and you see that you kind of get through it. Owning a home turns into like, okay, now owning a business. Now it turns it from owning a business to owning multiple businesses, different streams of income. So it's just like, I guess you could say, like being in a just waiting. It's like a flower blooming in so many ways. So it's nice.
And like you said, just taking that step, taking that risk, really, right? And keeping your reason why being stronger than the fear of not knowing or it being new. Speaking of, risk and all of that, you guys are involved in so many things, but what are you most passionate about right now?
Right now, I feel like what I am most passionate about is really making sure that I'm really more focused on what the future looks like for everyone that's going to come after me, and mainly the community, and I don't want to just say the Black community, but pretty much the community of minorities as a whole, to include everybody who just does not have the knowledge and being wanted to make that difference. And that was part of one of the big reasons why I joined Gemstone, because I knew, like, hold on, I kind of figured out how to do it. And I went, and it was so hard, and I went through so much of a struggle. I had so many different challenges that if someone would have been able to sit me down and talk to me, then I could have avoided a lot of issues and maybe even been a whole lot further down the line. So I felt so good to be able to kind of link up with Tyshawn, and then he's introducing to me to other people that I'm like, okay, and I'm just making a bigger impact than just what I'm doing for my family. And now I feel like now I'm developing a group of people around me that I feel comfortable with, that I can trust, and we're building each other up. So to me, that is just what my real kind of big passion is right now. So
Have a group around you of people that are like-minded, aligned goals, and then still being able to trust each other. That is huge. And then to even build a community like that, that's a big deal. And I'm grateful that we're all partnered in that way and showing everybody that it is possible, because I think the hesitancy for most people surrounding getting involved with real estate is like they think it takes money. They're like, I don't have the money to do it. They forget that community is a strong resource. Network, other people, OPM, right? Just there are other ways, and it does go back to that old saying, where there's a will, there's a way. So, it's a million ways to come up with an excuse, but all you really need to do is come up with the solution, instead of reasons why you can't, find reasons why you can. So how would you encourage someone who is on the fence for getting started in real estate, and all they see is all the ways that they can't. All they see is like, I don't have good credit, I don't have a savings account to do anything with purchasing a property, I don't have that. How would you encourage that mindset to shift into, like you said, anybody can actually pursue this opportunity, for them to believe that?
by making them understand that, hey, this is a process. This is not something that, the success doesn't just happen instantly, and we have to keep that in mind, and just being able to take that step forward and understanding that once you step onto the escalator, that's the hardest part. After that is, even if it's moving slow, we're going to get there. So
even that thing that's at the what's the thing that's at the airport? The escalator walk,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
escalator walk. I call it the escalator walk.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I just want to take a little bit of a slower step, let someone else support these cushions.
Exactly. So, and that's the way I would encourage them, because it is a process. And as, again, just even going back to myself, going through the process, because my first house, my real estate agent, she was just such a wonderful person. She literally walked me through everything, and she had no problem with it, because she knew, okay, well, he's a first-time homeowner. He has no idea. So technically she was my first mentor, but after that, I kind of, again, was just kind of went out there and went searching on my own, searching for the knowledge, but not having a mentor, because again, I kind of just had that confidence, and I had that, what I'm trying to say, just that ambition, and my ambition was me not even being afraid to sit here and have a few failures along the way, or a few hiccups, to say, okay, well, all right, how do we just overcome this hurdle? But when you have people around you that, can see, have had experience with all these different hurdles, I mean, it's just really just taking a step and joining and being part of the process. And I think that's all it is. I mean, it's so many people now that are involved with this. I mean, I've helped so many people, just not even just between me and Tyshawn, that everybody is I got plenty of success stories of many people that were trying to do other different business ventures, and then all of a sudden they're calling me, oh man, I'm on my 5th house, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And and then they're thanking me for encouraging them. So it's just having a conversation, and being a little bit open-minded and walking, and understanding that it is going to be a process, but it's not painful, but it's a process.
For me, I think one of the things that I am most passionate about, that I get the most reward from, is being able to add value to others. So one, being an educator, being a teacher, always, I guess, being a hard worker, being able to support someone else and being able to help them see something or be able to take a path that they didn't know existed, is something that is very rewarding for me. And I say that my biggest passion is being able to help others see the value that real estate can bring to their life. So in partnering with the Gemstone team, yourself, and Derrick, with us holding weekly meetings, educating others, being able to show them creative finance, how they can set up deals different ways, that is my biggest, reward right now.
So much value shared on the Gemstone meetings. I'm really just excited about what's going to happen maybe like a year from now when we look back and, just all the people that have peeked inside and the meetings, whether it was one time or a couple of times, just to see where they are. Like Derrick said, somebody looks up, now I have 5 properties. Like I didn't even think I could do this before. So yeah, adding that value and making an impact and letting it catch like a wildfire, because what's going to happen is they're excited. So what are they going to do? They're going to share that with somebody else, because they know that they didn't get there by themselves. They know that they were supported and that somebody shared the information. It's not this big secret about how to do it. It's like you guys are saying, it's a process. It's a process. They slow walk it. Some people get a leap here and there, but really most of us have slow walked this, So.
Yeah, and it takes time to get there. It takes time to get there.
So where can everybody keep up with you guys? How can everyone follow you if they want to learn more about what you guys are doing, follow in your footsteps, or just get tidbits and nuggets you might be dropping? How can people catch you?
The way for me is shoot me an email. I read my emails all day. Tyshawn at 3dseeds.com. I am one of the things that I've committed to for 2023 is to get more of a social media presence. So I will have more Facebook and Instagram engagements in the future.
Reach me at davisandmoreholdings.com. Reach me on Instagram. I'm using pretty much my social media as a business platform. So if anybody has anything, any questions or just, just want to talk, reach out, that's the best way to find me. I always respond to to those emails that come straight to my phone. I'm always, looking to expand the network. So that's where everybody could reach me.
And I'll take it one step further and actually create the lowest barrier of communication if anybody wants to reach out. 347-888-4819, and you in my pocket.
That's a real one right there for that. Get started, connect with like-minded individuals, and begin to create that legacy, that wealth, that dream life that you've been thinking about. Now it's time to take action. So I thank you guys so much for coming and just sharing your stories. I actually learned a lot about you guys today. And I know that our viewers are getting a lot of value just from listening to what you guys have shared, from the personal side of how you got started and overcoming those, hesitancies, to the successes that you guys have had through camaraderie and partnership, whether it be in the franchise department or whether it's in real estate investing. So again, I'm so grateful to be partnered with you both. And I'm even more grateful that you decided to come on and share with our audience. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say in closing?
Well, I want to say thank you for having us and, creating another avenue and a platform for others to be able to share and grow the community and the network.
Oh, thank you. I can't help it. It's my spirit.
Yeah,
Thank you
I
for
look forward to
appreciating.
seeing your future events and podcasts. I'm looking forward to it. So it'll be great. Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you. I hope you guys will come back too and just, continue to
Definitely.
share what you know. Yeah, I look forward to it. And
Thumbs up and whatever I
yay.
can do to support.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. So thanks you guys for tuning in. Can't wait to see you again on another episode of Creative Chats. Bye-bye for now.
Have a good one.
Bye.